Hello, book lovers. Welcome back to another exciting episode of KSB's book review. Yes, September is almost halfway gone, but better late than never. Welcome to the month of September. Hope your September has been sweet because I know mine has been sweet. The inevitable has happened. The holidays have come to an end, right? As long as it was very long, very nice, very fun. A lot of things happen. Some holidays, some vacations. So it's really nice. But like school is coming back on, and I might not be throwing videos out there as much, but I'll give it my best shot. But yeah, in today's episode, I'll be reviewing the kind of book I love to review, right? Like biographies, because like whenever you know a certain character, you follow them on Instagram and you probably check out their posts, and then you're always wondering how this person always stays consistent, how this person is always, locked in on the grind. Reading books like this just allows you to bind, like your mind just goes, like it just feels like you're living the person's life. The person explains their story, how they were before, how they got to where they are now. These are the kind of books I love to read, and today we are going to be talking. The book I'll be reviewing today, the biography I'll be reviewing with you today, is a very, very interesting personality. The book I'll be reviewing with you today is I Am Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Surely you have to be registered in a squad.
Regulations are for the regular players. I am Zlatan.
Zlatan is one of my favorites. He's one of my favorite players, one of the best strikers in the world. You check it, like I have very, very elite football knowledge. Like my ball knowledge is unquestionable. So like Zlatan is one of my favorites, strikers. He's one of the top 10 strikers in the world, right? And like this book just talks about him. He narrated the story to an author, right? So this book, he was one that narrated the story, right? So but this book is about him, his childhood, how his parents got divorced. The one thing about Zlatan, right? If you know Zlatan, you know that he's a very, very confident person. He has huge confidence. He doesn't think of himself as human, right? Like there's this interview where they asked him, how did you recover from your injury? You were supposed to be out for a month, but he was out for 2 weeks. And then his response was, lions don't recover the way humans do. Like,
It's a remarkable recovery. You come back a good month early, probably. Was there ever a moment you thought it might not happen?
No, because lions, they don't recover like humans.
We're doing
I
lions.
just love that confidence, And this book shows the reason, the backstory behind this confidence. In his house, they didn't used to. In his house, his parents were separated. And eventually got divorced, and he was living with his mom. And his mom was always very, she wasn't in the mood for anybody sulking, so she was always shouting. So as kids, right, when they are being shouted at, they also have the urge to like shout back, to somebody is telling you, hey, shut up. Why do I have to be the one to shut up? Did you get what I mean? So like there's always, the battle of egos in their house. And then, also his journey from when he was a young footballer at Malmo FF in Sweden. People criticized him for his style of play because Zlatan is like he's a 5-star skiller. Yeah, that's how I say he's a 5-star skiller, right? He does a lot of fancy skills, a lot of fancy tricks. His play style is different from what people expect him. They just want him to be a mechanical type of player, but his play style is different. When he holds on to the ball, he wants to beat 2, 3, 4, 5 players before scoring the goal. So most people criticized him. The fans always didn't like, Zlatan, they always complain about him, and he didn't really care. That's one of the things I love. He didn't really care about what the fans thought. He just wanted to play his football. So there are lots. So those are things that you learn from this book, right? If I never read this book, I never know that his family was divorced, right? That his parents were always having issues. So, and then he was also like an outside kind of person. Like the way he is now is the way he has always been. Even when he was young, he never liked staying indoors. Whenever he stayed indoors 2-3 days, he always felt like his body he felt like he just didn't feel sane when he was indoors. So he liked going outside, like going on adventure. Sometimes there was this bad habit he had of nicking bikes. Like he knew how to put his finger in the padlock, break it, and steal a bike. So most times he would, like, whenever he's running wild like that, he usually had this adrenaline that was pumping in him. That's really explained why he was so keen, why his dribbling was so amazing, because like he always liked being free. He always liked feeling like he was free, like had always liked feeling adrenaline pumping. He was just that kind of outdoor, that bird, like a high soaring bird kind of thing. So like he was very exciting personality, and this book really shows us into his personality, sometimes what's going through his mind. For example, when he was at Barcelona, he felt he always likes feeling free, likes feeling like a bird. But he said when he got to Barcelona, it didn't feel like that. It felt like Barcelona was a school where there were rules and everything, and Guardiola was making everybody follow a particular system, and nobody had the the mind to walk up to Guardiola one day and challenge him. And he also felt Guardiola he was someone who didn't want to address a lot of issues. So whenever he talked to him about it, Guardiola would just say one or two things, but then he would still go through the same way, and he didn't feel comfortable about it. This book really shows us, it gives us a deep dive of what Zlatan goes through every day, what goes through his mind, how his childhood was, his family, his background, the history behind his style of play. This book is a very exciting, very amazing, very engaging. He's one of my favorite footballers, so definitely I enjoyed this one.
Best
There were
striker in the Premier League right now.
Aguero is good. He's all round.
You didn't say yourself.
Lions, they don't compare themselves with humans.
There were lots of vocabularies that stood out that were used in this book, but one of the words that stood out for me is there were some words, right? There's one of them is fired, which means illegally. Is a legal conversation, like something that's being recorded legally. That's a fired. Like when he was at Barcelona, his friend told him, why be a Fiat when you know you can be a Ferrari, right? That's one of the most iconic. That's one of the iconic quotes that were used in this book, and it was by his friend. And the word Fiat means a legal conversation. So my ratings for this book. This book is a must read. It's an exciting book. Us that want to, even when you want to know someone, you read biographies of the person, the football, footballer's perspective, what it means to, the dream, like from dreaming to living the dream, what it feels like to, like the struggle, the grind, the hard work, having to go to the gym every day. Sometimes, like, for example, you said in the book, like, people think it's easy to people think he loves going to the gym, but like you have to, but there are sometimes he doesn't want to go to the gym. He just has to go to the gym, and that's consistency, right? Persistence. It's not just about wanting to do something, because your mind doesn't allow you, your mind wants to make you feel as comfortable as you could be. So it's always about the consistency. It's always about coming out of your comfort zone and doing what you have to do. So that's actually a big life lesson to all of us. We should stop trying to be comfortable. We should try to, most times we get a lot of rewards from getting out of our comfort zone. For example, my YouTube for example, it's not something that people are conversant with, books and all that, but stepping out of the comfort zone and still doing it, the consistency, right? It's not something you want. Sometimes it's not what you want to do, but you just have to do it. So yeah, this book has many other life lessons like that one, so I'm going to be giving this book a must read. If you are in the library or going book shopping, do well to look out for this book, I Am Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The book is a very voluminous one. It took me quite a while to be able to finish the book, but I kept on, but it was very engaging, the stories, whenever, most of the stories that he shared from his childhood were very exciting, very engaging. So this book is a must read, and the life lessons that he has to share as well, very impactful. He's a very wise person. He has, from the background he came from, he didn't really come from I won't say, his family was divided, his parents were divorced, sometimes he'll stay with his mom during the week, and during the weekend he'll hang out with his dad. So having that kind of life as a child, and then eventually being able to live his dream. This book is very exciting, very engaging. So I recommend you, if you're going book shopping, looking out for this book. If you're going book shopping, you're going to the library, do well to look out for this book, I Am Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Don't forget about the reading challenge. The reading challenge is still very much on. This is the 9th month in the year 2025. I don't know why it feels as if 2025, the time was put on the speed of time was doubled, because like was it not just yesterday that was like, oh, happy new year 2025, but like now we are the ninth month of the year, but the reading challenge is still on. So make sure you're on the reading challenge. Make sure you have group of friends that you're on the reading challenge with. Don't forget, if you're in Nigeria, you're looking for books to buy, you can check out Little Chapters Bookshop. They sell new and pre-owned books through WhatsApp, so their number is in the description. You can send them a message and they'll definitely reply to you. That's all for today's review. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Little Chapters Bookshop in the comments, share the link with your friends. Make sure you have friends. Please share the link to increase the numbers. Whenever, like, please, the views, the likes. I also want to appreciate you for your support. Watching always looking forward to the videos. I'd like to appreciate you for your support. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel. If you feel there's anything you want me to do in my next video, you can drop it in the comment section. You think there's any book you think I should read, drop it in the comment section, send the link to your friends, and always remember that readers are leaders who are way ahead of others. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
What superpowers would you like to possess?
I already have them.